So, when you think of the Himalayas, what comes to mind? Probably these massive icy peaks, right? But what if I told you there's so much more than that? I mean, they are, quite literally, the very backbone of India. Let's really dig into how.
It's a huge question, I know, but it gets right to the heart of everything. Just try to imagine it for a second. What if this colossal mountain wall simply wasn't there? What would the subcontinent even look like? What would it feel like?
The answer is pretty shocking, actually. A cold, barren desert. Yeah, without the Himalayas, the vibrant, teeming India we all know, it just wouldn't exist. It's a really stark thought, and it perfectly sets the stage for just how critical this mountain range truly is.
All right, so let's break this down. Let's look at how this silent, unmoving guardian actually protects and provides for an entire nation. You'll see it plays a bunch of different but totally interconnected roles, and we're going to go through them one by one. First up, and honestly, this might be the most important one, the Himalayas act as this massive, continent-sized climate control system. Their impact on the weather is, well, it's nothing short of profound.
Okay, so think of the Himalayas as a giant wall, a climatic wall. On one side, they literally block the freezing cold winds that are sweeping down from Central Asia. That's what keeps India's winters from being brutally cold. Then, on the other side, they trap those moisture-packed monsoon clouds, basically forcing them to drop all their rain over the subcontinent. Now, take that wall away. What happens? Well, those Arctic winds would just rush in, turning northern India into a frigid wasteland. And the monsoons? They'd just blow right over, leaving behind a cold, dry desert. A totally different world.
Beyond just climate, the Himalayas are, well, they're the source of life itself. They provide the one thing you absolutely need for civilization: water. You really can't overstate their role as a water tower for more than 1 billion people.
I mean, look at this list. All the great rivers of northern India, the Indus, the Ganga, the Yamuna, the Brahmaputra, every single one is born from Himalayan glaciers. And the key word here, the really important one, is perennial. You know, unlike rivers that just rely on seasonal rain, these guys flow year-round. They're a constant, reliable source of life for hundreds of millions of people.
And this right here, this shows you the incredible chain reaction perfectly. It all starts up high with the glaciers, right? They melt, feeding the rivers. Those rivers then flow down onto the plains. And as they go, they're carrying all this fine, mineral-rich silt, that's alluvial soil. Over thousands and thousands of years, these deposits have built up one of the most fertile regions on the entire planet, the Indo-Gangetic Plain.
So just think about what that really means. This whole process, which starts way up in the mountains, literally creates India's agricultural heartland. The rice, the wheat, the sugarcane that feeds 1 billion people, you could say it's a direct gift from the Himalayas.
Okay, but the mountains aren't just a source of water and soil. They're also this vast, living reservoir of biodiversity, and they're a critical stabilizing force for the ecology of the whole region.
The crazy range of altitudes creates this stunning tapestry of different ecosystems. You've got dense forests down at the foothills, vibrant alpine meadows way up high. It's a total treasure trove of medicinal plants, and it's a sanctuary for some really rare wildlife. We're talking about the incredible elusive snow leopard and the super charming red panda.
In fact, the region is officially recognized as a biodiversity hotspot. So what's that mean? Basically, it means it's one of the most biologically rich places on Earth, but it also means it's under serious threat. That makes protecting it absolutely critical.
And the ecological benefits are just immense. The forests and the soil, they act like a giant sponge, soaking up monsoon rains to help regulate river flow and prevent catastrophic floods. They're a living barrier against desertification from the north, and they're absolutely essential for recharging the groundwater that millions and millions of people depend on.
All right, for our last section, let's zoom out a bit and look at the Himalayas' role as a foundational pillar for the entire nation, economically, strategically, and even culturally.
Economically, the potential is just massive. Remember those powerful rivers we talked about? Well, they offer huge opportunities for clean hydroelectric power. The sheer natural beauty and spiritual significance drive a massive tourism and pilgrimage economy. And of course, the mountains are a source of valuable stuff like forest products and minerals.
And from a strategic point of view, the Himalayas have always been India's great northern fortress. This quote really says it all. Their incredible scale and rough terrain create this formidable natural boundary. It's made it super difficult for any enemy movement, protecting the subcontinent for centuries.
Culturally, their influence is just, you can't even measure it. While they were a huge barrier, they were also a crossroads, Ancient trade routes like the Silk Road ran through them.
they're home to some of Hinduism's most sacred sites, like Kedarnath and Badrinath, and for thousands of years, they acted as a kind of cultural shield, allowing a unique and distinct Indian civilization to really flourish in the lands to the south.
So, it all really comes down to this powerful summary. The Himalayas are absolutely crucial for India's climate, its rivers, its agriculture, its defense, its biodiversity, and its ecological balance. That is their true importance.
And that brings us to a final, really crucial thought. For all their power, for all their seeming permanence, this unmoving guardian is facing some pretty unprecedented modern challenges. So the question we're left with is this. As our world keeps changing, with glaciers melting and borders shifting, what does the future actually hold for the mountains that have always guarded India?